Greetings to all you beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic, we're going to focus on the 6 easy way on how to champion your team's communication. If you remember the saying that, oh, it's good to have a talk, like when you have a conversation with someone, and then at the end, the person says, oh, it's good to have that conversation we had, or it's good that we had that talk. This does not just apply on a relationship. It does also apply when it comes to business place, job environment, in a workplace, wherever situation you find yourself. When you hear people say, oh, it's good to have this talk, that means the both parties were really satisfied with that communication. According to research, it did mention that wherever there is a team of more than 50 people, there is always a risk of having poor communication skills in that area. But having a good, effective communication that can minimize poor communication skills. So with that being said, I'm going to walk you through the 6 effective ways of how to encourage your team to have that good communication within yourself, your team, and as well as any other stakeholders there within a business setting or in a work setting. So let's move on. Number 1, as a leader, lead by example. So when it comes to teams communication, they always go the saying as do as I do. So as you as a leader, when you lead your team and you want them to be exactly like the way you want them to be, I think you need to show bright example first. You need to lead them first. You need to show them how you want them to be. So you need to lead the way. So you need to set the stage for your business area or your work environment as a place where communication is very valued. And this, in a sense, your team will follow through by your example that you've set. In addition to that, we all know that communication, effective communication, is two-way communication, where 2 people converse. One speak, one listen, and then the other person will respond, and then the other person will listen. So you need to set the stage for your team to be very open to come to you. You need to be very approachable. So whenever your team comes to you to ask for any solution or suggestion, you're always approachable and ready to listen and ready to respond to them. So you have to make it easier for your team to have access to you whenever they have worries or concerns to come and talk to you. Number 2, turn the negative into positive. What does that mean? To have an effective communication, it means that you have to build trust amongst your team or colleagues. So the key to build a very successful team is by being open to your team. Ensure that whatever information that is going on around your environment, that is workplace or business place, that you share with the team. Even if the trust or wherever you find yourself working, in a business setting or home or workplace setting, or even if it is a relationship, if you have a bad information or bad news to deliver to your team or to your colleagues or to your partner, it is advisable not to hold on to that bad news. You can try as much as possible, maybe even turning that bad news to a good news. When your team actually knows what is going on in whatever situation you find yourself, that will give them confidence that whatever is happening in this company or this environment that I found myself, I'm always informed. Even if it's bad news or even if it's good news, we are always informed. Then those team can have a very confidence in yourself. They can have confidence in the business that they are doing or the job role that they are doing or the work environment they are in. They will have that confidence that they are well informed. Whatever situation or whatever information that is happening around them, they are well informed, they are aware. And even when you're discussing those bad news, if there is a bad news, always ensure that there is a solution at the end of it. Let your team or your staff knows that even though it's a very negative news they've received, even though it's a very bad news they receive, but at least at the end of the day, there is a solution to minimize those bad news not from happening again. At least you need to reassure them to ensure that, okay, this is the case, but this is how we're going to walk through it to ensure that this doesn't happen again. So you need to give them that reassurance that there is a way to resolve this not from happening again. And another thing, again, you need to be aware of when you're in a working environment or in a business environment, always remember that your team that you're working with, they are your eyes and your ears. They see things and they hear things. But if you're a very open and honest leader, they will always have that confidence to come to you, to come and speak to you, whatever issues or whatever information they hear around. They will have that confidence to come to you and sort things out, or to come and confide in you. Sometimes you never knew those team that you are working with, they might have a solutions better than you. So it's a very good thing to share when you have problems at work. They said problems shared is problems solved. So don't keep it to yourself. Keep it out to the open. So you never know who will there to support you, because your team, remember, they are your eyes and they are your ears. When they receive notice or they receive any information, give them that opportunity for them to have that confidence to come to you, to come and share whatever ideas or support or opinion they have on their own. Let them have that confidence to come to you too. So number 3, act on team's feedback. Always empower your employee when communicating with them. If there is a good achievement, always praise them, always give them feedback. If they are doing well, if there is an area of improvement, give them that feedback. Because wherever there is a lack of feedback, your employees or your team or your staff will feel that maybe they are not going anywhere, or maybe they are not improving, or nothing is going on. It's like they are just walking round and round in a circle. But if they have that constant feedback, like meeting on with them, let them know what they are really doing, if the job is going well, or what they are doing really, really well. Let them know, give them that constant feedback so that they can feel proud of them. Then they will know where they are, rather than just keeping them to the blank. But when they have that constant feedback, they know that they are on the right path. So that won't create any doubt of what they are actually doing. Number 4, please always prioritize your emails. Emails are very important. That goes a long way to build a collaborative relationship with the stakeholders out there. When you see your email if it's something that it needs to be responded to, immediately you see the email, find the time to respond to all your emails and respond to those team out there that send those emails. It might be an emergency something. So build that connection, build that relationship with the team out there. Because the reason being is, sometimes you can see an email and said, oh, okay, I'll leave this email. Maybe I'll respond to it later. Maybe by the time you come back, you will see another thousands of emails waiting for you at the desk. So that can bring maybe an important email is there that really needed your attention, and then that can be missed. So when you prioritize your email, you look at the priority ones that you need to respond to immediately. Prioritize your emails. This is very, very important. So that can build a relationship. It might be your work colleagues or your employees or stakeholders out there. So prioritize your emails. Whatever you know that this needs to be actioned immediately, deal with it before you can leave it, because otherwise it will get missed. Number 5, stop, collaborate, and listen. What does that mean? In any work environment, when you have a team of more than 10, 20 to 50, there is always conflict going around there. I know, yes, it's good for you to listen, to be open, to be very approachable when the team comes to you for any solution or any suggestion. But sometimes you have to be very mindful. You need to encourage them to speak amongst themselves as well. I will just give you as an example. As a leader, if you have a team that you're working with, yes, you are approachable. You can listen to your colleagues or your team. And when they come to you for any issues, you have to be very mindful with the information they are coming in. Let me say, for example, somebody comes to you and starts talking about somebody else to you. You as a leader, you need to encourage that there should be a communications amongst your team. It's not only to you. Let not an individual comes to you for any coming to tell you about somebody else's lifestyle. You need to stop that and try to encourage your team to have that collaboratively working amongst themselves. It's not only to you as a leader for them to have the good communication, but they has to reflect as well to have that good communications amongst themselves. So this can make the communication flow smoothly and smoothly amongst the team. That can bring an effective communication. But where a communication goes wrong, that you listen to an individual, set of individuals, but those individuals are not communicating with each other, that is when conflict comes around. Because if you take one person's side and ignore another person, and those person are not maybe in a good relationship, that can create a conflict. So always ensure that the team also have good communication amongst themselves. There is an effective communication going on amongst themselves. So in the way for your team to communicate amongst themselves thoroughly, not to depend only on you as the leader, I created like a WhatsApp group with all the staff. The team's names are there. So when you want to communicate about something, so they don't just come and depend on coming to me for a communication. So they can communicate it through that WhatsApp group that we created. So this can be like a team communication. Maybe if there is a question one person wanted to know, you just type it on the chat and then somebody else will respond. That's how the communication flow smoothly on that chat. Everybody will bring in their own input. Then that's when you bring everybody on board to communicate with each other. And whatever issue that has been raised, that can be resolved there and there. So the last one, number 6 of the easy way on how to encourage your team to have a champion communication is champion communication. Yes, you get me right. So what does that mean? You know, sometimes we do create even the WhatsApp, like what I just mentioned on the 5th tip is you create a WhatsApp where everybody else will communicate, or maybe there is another device you can use where you can communicate as a team. Yes, which is very, very important. But also ensure that you have that constant face-to-face meeting with your team, whether it's in a team meetings or a conference meeting. You just call them just to have that team meeting, that togetherness where the team can get and gather. Even if like maybe you just invite them for a lunch, just that get together, you can have that. That can also bring in team bonding. It can bring the relationship will really, really spark. I will give you an idea what I do with my team. Sometimes I can just say, if there is a day which is very quiet, I can just say, oh, let's go out for lunch. We all can just go and book a table for a meal, and then we all just sit there and then we just chat. Sometimes you can chat, you make friends there, and then you forgot your time. You build up friend there. We build up bond in that, just out of the office, somewhere where it's just to liaise, just to know one another, because it's not, I know work is very important, but sometimes it's good to socialize, even if there is somewhere where you can just have that meeting face to face with your team, which is out of the office. Try and create that. That can even bring good, effective communication and bonding within your team. Because at the end of the day, team collaborations, when you have that collaboration with your team, that can really, really strengthen your business environment or your work environment, or even as a relationship. It can really strengthen that. And this will lead to higher productivity on whichever area you find yourself. This can lead to higher productivity at workplace or business place, or even in your relationship. This is very, very important. Thank you so much if you come so far for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and if you find it very interesting, please don't forget to leave your comments below. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you. Take care now. Bye.